Here's section 5.3, area of a triangle. Let's go to the next slide. In this formula, you're going to be able to compute the area of a triangle as long as you have the given information in the triangle, which is a side, an angle, and a side. If you look at this, so you can understand this formula a little bit better, this formula here corresponds to this picture. And again, notice that you have the two sides B and C in the included angle A. You should be able to understand how this formula can be applied, basically, which is the same thing, just different information in the triangle. But let's go ahead and move to the next slide and apply this formula. So it says find the area of the triangle with the given parts, round to the nearest tenth by looking at the information. Notice that I have side, angle, side. This is the angle. This is the included angle between these two sides. So this is the formula, and I simply need to just plug in the given information into the formula, and I punch that into the calculator and round, and this is my answer, 32.4 square units. Let's go to the next slide. So here's number 2, same directions. Notice that the given information is two sides and an angle, but in this case you have to be careful. This is not necessarily angle, side, angle, side. By analyzing the information, you're going to notice that you have side, side, angle. So in order for me to apply the formula we used on number 1, I need to basically find, let me write it down, I need to find alpha. Okay, so this is what we're going to have to do first. So first I need to find a gamma, because I have little c, or side c. So once I do that, I solve for sine of gamma, use my inverse function to find the actual angle, and I end up 53.77. Now from here, I should be able to find alpha by simply doing the following, and this is what I get. Now that I have my side, angle, side, which is this, all I need to do is plug in the information on the formula that we used for number 1, and this is what we get as our answer. 182.4 square units. Let's go to the next slide. Here's number 3. This one's a little bit different. Just find the area of the region to the nearest whole number. So we have a quadrilateral, and basically what we're going to be doing is we're going to break it up into two triangles. So first we're going to draw the following diagonal that you see there. We're going to call that X. By looking carefully at this angle, notice that I have a right triangle, so I can find X here by using the Pythagorean theorem, and this is sum of the legs squared equals the hypotenuse squared, solve for X, and I get 4.9. So this is 4.9. At this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to find this angle, and I'm going to be calling that theta. So by using, again, I have a right triangle, by using the opposite and the adjacent, I can find the angle by using tangent inverse, which is 39.2. From here, I should be able to find this angle, which I'm calling beta, and I end up with 60.8 degrees because the whole thing is 100, and I take away the theta, and I get 60.8 degrees. Now from here, I'm going to compute the area of this triangle that you see here, the area of this triangle here. Here I don't need any formula because I have the base times the height, which is a formula you should know from an earlier course, pre-algebra, or maybe earlier than that. Base times height divided by 2, and then to find the area of this other triangle here on the top, we're going to be using the law of the one that we just saw earlier. We applied on number 1 and number 2. So this is what I get. This is the base times the height. That's the first triangle, and then this is using the second, the information on this triangle here, which is the side, 4.9, which we found. The angle between, the included angle, which is 60.8, we found over here, and then the other side, 3.5. I add these two areas, and this is what I get, 13 square yards. Let's go to the next slide. Here's the next formula, which is called Heron's formula. This formula can be applied whenever you're given or you know the three sides in the triangle, and basically just follow what this formula says. The square root of s. S is basically the sum of all three sides divided by 2, and then you multiply that by whatever s is minus side A, as what minus side B, and so forth. So let's go to the next slide and apply this formula. Here's number 5. Find the area of the triangle. Round to the nearest tenth, and by looking at the given information, we notice that we have side, which means that we can apply the formula you saw on the previous slide, and it's basically just substitution. Find s and then plug it into the formula. Take the square root of all this. This is s. Substitute into the formula. Take the square root of all of this, and you end up with 5,388.2 square units. Let's go to the last one. This problem will be done in class. This concludes the video.